Good morning and welcome to SimWorld today. I am Marsh. I am joined on this Wednesday morning by Sniper Jay. Sniper, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm not doing as good as you because I know right before in our little pre-production meeting, why don't you show the viewers at home what we're snacking on this fine morning?
You know I got my morning fruit, baby. We got to get the right energy for the day. You got to get your fruit in, especially the berries. I'm sorry, we're gonna give a lesson here, Marsh. You got to get
I'm
the
hearing.
berries. The berries is for inflammation, and it's gonna help your knees and your joints. It helps. I'm telling you. Don't just listen to me. I've been in the game a long time. When you eat your berries, your knees feel good. You jump high. You feel better. You get more energy. Everything's the best.
What berries are we talking? Blueberries, raspberries, blackberries,
Any type of berry helps
any
with
type.
inflammation.
You,
Any type of berry.
so are you?
Look it
Is that
up.
your? Is that? I'm not denying you. I'm just asking. What's your Is that your favorite fruit? What's your favorite fruit?
Um, you funny.
I'm not. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just asking you what your favorite. If you want to take it in some direction, Sniper, you can take it in any direction you want. I'm asking you what your favorite fruit is. That's all I was doing.
Favorite fruit is grapes,
It's grapes. All
but
right.
I felt like
I'm not.
I
Not.
like you wanted a different answer,
I
but I'm
didn't
not
want.
gonna go there.
I didn't want any answer. I wanted the
Great
true
Blaze,
answer.
Blaze would say it for me if he was there.
I am not fishing for anything other than what is your favorite fruit. That was the question. That was it. So any
Like
way
great.
you wanna insinuate my question, that's not my question. That's you receiving the question. However you want to receive it. I'm personally a
Right.
cantaloupe guy, so that's why I was asking. Just wanted
I
to
got
know
some
what
cantaloupe.
can't.
I appreciate it. Thank
Cantaloupe's
you for your.
dangerous. Thank you for my what?
Thank you for bringing up my fruit.
Yeah, you showed it to me. I had to show the people what we're cooking with. All right, we got plenty to get to because we are continuing our march around college basketball conferences. We just got done last week with the Big East, so that means we're moving to the Big Ten. And Sniper, I would say in my prep for today, what I realized was I think the Big Ten is a lot deeper than the Big East is this coming season. Now, I'm not saying that because everybody finished with the same records. I think,
They should.
big topic last season was, is this conference good or not? I'm not answering that question. I'm just saying, looking at these teams, I think there's a lot of good options to pick from as we get to our top three. That is my observation as I looked at this group.
Marsh, it's definitely the best mediocre conference we have.
Sure. So you don't think that there's any teams in this? So Illinois is currently ranked what, like top five, top six. You don't think? And I think you said this last week. You don't believe that that's an apt ranking for them to start off the season.
No,
No,
I,
no
I think that,
options.
I think that's a one man hype show, and I
Okay.
think maybe non-conference they do well because scheduling how they schedule their. I'm not sure what the schedule is at this point, but I'm pretty sure they schedule themselves in favor to keep that ranking up until conference. Now it's going to be war in conference, but is this team good enough to make it out? I mean, is this conference good enough to make it to Hoops Area and make a deep run? Let's see.
Okay. Well, they did release the conference or everyone's schedules. I haven't looked either because I made the point. I'm waiting for everybody's team schedule to drop so I can just look at the schedule. I can't look at like October 3rd and then October 4th and then keep track of what the heck was happening the night before. I can't do that much. I'm not that good at multitasking. So let's start with it. I'm assuming we're not going to hear Illinois as one of your three teams. So let's start with your number 3 team. Who do you got as your top 3 team contender in the Big 10?
I'm going with Wisconsin. I think they have a good team. They're bringing back a lot of pieces. They were in that group that had the same record as everybody, so you're not looking at them to win, but you're also not expecting them to lose. I think they take the next step forward with the players they have. They got players that play. They got players that didn't play as much, but that's going to play a little bit more this year. They have the experience. I don't see why this team cannot flip the switch under Coach Greg Gard.
Yeah, three guys returning that averaged double figure scoring. You've got 4 starting level guys. I mean, I think Daquan McDougal started last season for them. You got 4 starters returning. You've got 6 rotation guys coming back. This is an interesting group that's balancing both experience with the fact that they're bringing in 5 freshmen. Um,
Yes.
Now they don't. It's not like a team like I can't remember who we talked about previously, but like South Carolina bringing in quite a few freshmen. Um, it, I'm a little concerned about that 6, 7, 8 guy in their rotation. It's going to be a freshman. It's guaranteed to be a freshman
Absolutely.
in that range. I think that's where my concern with Wisconsin is it too many? Is in your opinion, is it too many?
No, no. I think they have enough freshmen to figure out who's going to be that seventh and eighth guy, and they have guys every day at practice teaching these young guys how to be a role player or the next big name. But they got a learning curve, and they have time to make sure everyone hits their learning curve and see who comes out on top for the second half of the season. I think the first half of the season, the returners can handle that. They're going to need the freshmen in the second half of the season. They're going to use that first half of the season just to get experience, see who's able to compete at a high level like they need them to, and then plug in, plug out as they see necessary in conference play.
Okay, so your number 3 team is Wisconsin. My
But
number 3 team is not Wisconsin. My number 3 team is Michigan. They're bringing back some solid pieces from a year ago, most notably Lorenzo Phenom. You're bringing back Samuel Baugus. You talk about rotation level guys. These guys are bringing back 4 starters as well. When you add in Sincere Coomer, you add Baugus, and you add Carlos Buffini. The one guy that they're losing from the rotation from last season is Bizarski, who had a really kind of out of nowhere season. On top of those 4 guys, you've also got Zane Marquez, D'Anthony Sales. Those 2 played reliable minutes a season ago. I'd expect their minutes to get bumped up above the 11 and 13 they played. So I'm getting a very large contingency, of guys that played. And to your point, they were part of that 7-7 massive teams right there in the middle of the conference. I think the addition of Jax Jackson Jr., Triple J, is a great add as a very obvious, and same thing with DeAndre Hilario. You're adding 2 guys who I think can step in immediately and not only maybe vie for that fourth starting spot or 5th starting spot, but even be a guy that maybe could get 18 to 22 minutes as freshmen. And they're local, Detroit dudes.
glad you said all that because that's my number 2 team. You explained
Okay.
it perfectly. Phenom, I think he's going to be unstoppable this year. I think Pizarski and him, they had that little clash last year at the beginning of the year. Then they kind of found something together. But in my opinion, when I watched them play, Pizarski was kind of in his way. He was a man amongst boys out there, and now I think he's going to take this to a completely different level this year. Almost baby Jokic like, if I'm being honest with you, because he has the ability to pass, he has the ability to score, and for some odd reason, that cricket left hand jumper just goes in when he does the little fadeaway thing. I don't understand it. Don't ask me. I'm left handed. I love it, but I don't understand it. I think he's going to be really good this year. And watching him in these summers runs, I think he played in Trey J. He looks more in shape. He looks stronger. He looks like he wants to be more physical in the paint area. There's nothing not to like about this Michigan team with him as the forefront of it.
I think the other thing to consider is so Lorenzo Phenom comes back. I think everyone kind of expected him to be a mid first round pick, so he's coming back for his junior year. I think his college game is very reminiscent of Drew Timme. I think that he has a much better upside than Drew Timme. I think his upside is more in the uh, Domantas Sabonis range.
Yeah.
But and I'm not saying that because it's 3 white dudes that don't really move that well that play the big position, but
That was
doesn't hurt. But the
Sabonis,
he's
no, Sabonis can move. You
Sabonis
talking about his
can.
daddy? His daddy didn't move, but his dad was
This is
legit.
true.
But Sabonis
His
can
dad was
move.
his dad's good years were wasted overseas. Although in his argument, he would say the end of his career was wasted overseas. But anyhow, like it's Drew Timme was unstoppable when he was in college basketball because nobody could guard his just refined post game, and Lorenzo Phenom has a really good post game. On top of that, the fact that he's coming back. I think this is a very big prove it year for Lorenzo Phenom. He's coming back and saying, I want to be a top 15 pick. I want to be a top 10 pick. And I think the motivation factor that is now around Lorenzo Phenom that just probably wasn't really there a season ago, I think that's a big motivator for this group. I think that's a big engine for this group and a big engine for this team. Why I think they can be number three, and be on the fringe and compete for a conference title. You said they're your number two, so I'll jump to my number two, and I've got Illinois. I do think that D'Angelo Jordan is a floor raiser. I think that the rest of this roster is not as popular of names around the conference and around college basketball as a whole, but you're bringing back five guys that played 20 plus minutes. You're bringing back 7 guys that played 13 or more, so solid rotation pieces. I like their freshmen that are coming in. I think Jaden Hawkins is pretty good. But at the end of the day, you're getting a guy on this roster that could be a top 5 pick in college basketball.
All right, I heard enough.
You've
Stop. I heard enough. You're right. They're bringing back guys that play 20 plus minutes, and
You're
I'm not
bringing
gonna say no
rotation
name.
guys.
The rotation, the 20 plus minutes is like close to starter minutes at this level. Marsh, we need production. Is 6.2 points per game production? Is 6 points per game production? Is 6.6 points per game production? Who's gonna help this young man? 6.1 points per game. Mr. Jordan, by all means, great player, will be top 10 pick.
Top 5 pick.
Top 10. Don't
He's top
don't
5.
push it.
He's top 5 across the board. People are believing D'Angelo Jordan is top 5.
Top 10.
Top 5. We'll agree on top 5. But anyway, continue your point.
We're not agreeing. I mean, he first off, he needs help. If he loses, his stock drops. If he's getting 1 year older, his stock drops. If he doesn't make it to the second round of Hoop Stereo, his stock drops. If he doesn't average 20 points per game, his stock drops. Top 10, Marsh, and he needs help. Who's going to help this kid? Are you relying on a freshman to come in and average 10 points a game, or are you expecting these guys that average 20-some minutes, that's going to average 20-some minutes again, to boost their points up to double digits from 6? I don't think so. I don't see it. I'm not bought on Illinois.
So we are talking about finding a top 3 team in the Big Ten Conference. And a season ago, Illinois went 18-14 overall, 8-6 in conference, tied with Michigan State and Minnesota, and didn't win the tiebreaker to make it into the conference championship game. And they're bringing back the majority of the rotation pieces from a season ago that got them there. It worked last year. I don't think the Big Ten got increasingly better. I think it's as good as it was. The big talent did not go to the Big Ten. So you're looking at a conference that's a little bit of a rerun from a season ago, and you're bringing back the core group that got you to be the number 3 team in the Big Ten last season.
But what about scouting reports? They know these guys. They know these guys.
And D'Angelo Jordan is that type of talent that is not going to be. You could scout. You think by the end of the season, people weren't still scouting up D'Angelo Jordan, and he was still dropping nearly 20 points a game on people.
I'm not talking about this. I know he's going to get his, but who else is going to do theirs against a scouting report? All these guys have numerous footage of them doing absolutely nothing. What are they going to bring new to the table?
I think you've got Jaden Hawkins, who had a good high school career, and you're adding him to the group. I think you are. I mean, in the same way that we're talking about other teams with a lot of rotation guys coming back, I think you are hoping and expecting on improvement. I thought Kyrie Holtzclaw, had a really great freshman year. He's entering in as a sophomore. He's a reliable big man inside, shot 60%, 7 points on nearly 20 minutes per game. I would expect his minute total to be up in the 30-plus range, so you're going to get a better interior presence inside. That doesn't necessarily help D'Angelo Jordan, who's not who needs a clear paint. But I think you're going off of, we need guys to improve, and we can't just sit here. And I think there are guys that showed glimpses last season, even if I'll agree with you, they did not have great seasons last year when you look at inefficient shooting numbers and not great scoring totals.
Plays great defense.
Who does? Holtzclaw?
Illinois.
Yeah, they do. And if you can stop teams, I mean, it's not hard to be a good defensive team in college basketball because there's enough poor shooters out there that you just got to be connected. All right, who is your number 1 team as we enter next season in the Big Ten?
Stand with the number 1 team that it was last year, Purdue, the Boilermakers.
Make the case, because I agree with you. Purdue is also my number 1 team coming into this season.
They got a sophomore in Pierre Dupont. He's from New Orleans, Louisiana. Good player. As you see, my accent came out because I
I saw
support
that.
everybody from Louisiana.
I saw
Yep.
that.
I think he's coming back. I think he wants more. I think he's going to be more for this team. But again, like we just talked about, it's all about supporting cast. Who's going to support him? And they're bringing it back a senior, 34 minutes, who averaged 13.6 points. They're bringing back people that can contribute, and I think these guys that didn't contribute, like the big man, the senior Creamer, I think it's his senior year. He wants more. I think he's gonna be motivated to give more. I think he's gonna up his stats just a little bit. I think they have the depth, and then bringing in freshmen that can help but don't need the freshman. They're not relying on a freshman to come in and absolutely just hit a home run. No, they're not relying. They got talent, they got depth, and I think they have a leader in Dupont that is going to project them to that number one spot.
Yeah, I think DuPont's a dark horse to be a lottery pick next season.
Mm.
Really great interior presence. A little undersized for a guy that can't shoot the ball at 6'8", 247. I think that's what I would look to see. But, 59% inside. He primarily did a lot of his work in there. But you talk about not relying on a freshman. I think they got a really good freshman in Dexter Jackson walking in the door. A very big guard at 6'6". Really athletic. You watch his high school tape, and this kid is just a springboard off the floor. So I think you're adding in Dexter Jackson, which is a great asset to add to this group. The one thing Purdue needs, they need to shoot. You look at this roster coming in, nobody on their roster shot better than 27% from deep last season. And so if you are going to, again, be that condensed of a floor, it really limits your upside because teams can just say, we're just going to leave everybody open out top. We're going to crowd the paint and make Pierre Dupont score on 4 guys at once, and we just got to play good defense, and we think we can beat you. That's the one knock right now on this group.
They're going to hate to see a zone. But I'm willing to take them against a zone rather than any other team. I think this team has the capabilities to beat a zone with their inside presence as well. And don't let them play against man-to-man. Dupont, I think he's a bit heavy for his size. If you said like a lottery pick, if he could slim down 15 to 20 pounds, yes, I could see him moving into that lottery category with that frame and that slimmer, more mobile build. Because we know he has the inside game, but this game at the next level, SWBA moves like this, and we don't have time for you to be drop stepping, dunking, and then not getting back.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the guys that come into this season. So they have 3 freshmen, and this is like you need a little versatility to the game. This roster needs a little versatility to it. Dexter Jackson did not make many threes last season. Jair Dune made 1 3 all of last season, and then we did not get any Dior Clark action in SimWorld Prep. So you're bringing in 3 freshmen who can't really shoot the ball. That's going to be, to your point, zone shows up, and this team is cooked on the offensive side of the ball. Because unless one of these guys has made the type of adjustments and improvements that we're talking about is needed from some Illinois guys. All right, so you got Purdue as your number 1 team. Are you taking Purdue to win the Big Ten, or are you taking the field? Let's do this. Your number 1 pick, which would be Purdue, or the field. Like, how confident are you in them being the top team in the Big Ten?
I'm confident that Purdue's going to win back.
So you're taking them to win the Big Ten. I'll take the field. I really like the roster, but I'm concerned about it, and I just think looking up and down the conference, I think the Big Ten is a good conference. I don't know that it's a great conference. It's a really good conference, and I think they got enough talent on it to offset and take down Purdue. Plus, I get 11 teams to year 1, so that's a win for me. All right, Sniper, enjoy your fruit plate. Whatever your favorite fruit is, no one judges you for that. You can choose whatever you choose. So enjoy your grapes this morning. And we'll talk to you tomorrow morning here on SimWorld TV. The only place you can see the game, be the game.